Good morning. Promises kept. I guess when you're, running this late, it decided to go live to you quickly. So I thought I had time to put my headphones, get a sip of coffee. We're going to go ahead and do that anyway because hydration is important. As I say every weekday morning, this weekday morning happens to be a Tuesday. And it's January 31st, 2023. My name is Jay Cleveland Payne, and I'm going to provide for you in just a moment nine headlines. Nine headlines. Yes, nine headlines. We're doing something a little different. We're breaking the rules a bit. The biggest headline we're not covering is winter weather going across the nation, including right here across me here in Little Rock, Arkansas, where we're having a small batch of last night, but a really big batch coming in a few hours. So hopefully you are bundled up and warm wherever you are. We're going to bring you right now things you might have heard, which may not bundle you up or make you warm, but may make you a bit smarter, may get you a better start to your day. And as you're not exactly at work, probably commuting, telecommuting, or doing remote stuff, you can chit chat in your little group chat back and forth on some things that you might have missed. Now, we call ourselves your news side piece, so some of these stories may be a bit off the beaten path, but we're going to give you the best, most conversational stories and information, politics, current events, and pop culture because you vetted these stories and I just curated them to make them fit into the narrative. Should be 8. We did 9. We'll explain that in a bit, but we want you to stick around for what's going on. Now, as a teaser graphic show, we're going to talk about the most popular story of the day by leaps and bounds, a story that was a fluke that I posted it. And literally, I have no idea what's happening, but we'll get to that as well and tell you at about the 12, 13, 14-minute mark exactly how you can help vet these stories and how you can fight the oppression of me, I guess, picking the good stories. If there's a story that you thought should have been in here, you can reply to me and tell me what should have been better. If there's a story in here that you just don't like, let me know as well. Now, 9 stories, a special 9 stories on the day, curated by me, of course, vetted by you out there. Let's start off with our first story, and this is going to be a big deal for a while until we get really the answers that we need in this one. 6 Memphis police officer relieved of duty over fatal traffic stop of Tyre Nichols. This was updated to 7 Memphis police officers relieved of duty this month after the brutal beating where he was tased, pepper sprayed, chased down, and then beaten essentially to a pulp, eventually to his death. We're going to keep on this story because it is basically the top story. That should be the top story. There's so many complicated, intricate things in this one, and I may actually get a chance to spend some time with some good friends of mine on a podcast tonight talking about some of these issues because it's one of these things that really is deep, and the way many people the way many people see this is very broad, and 2 people you may think have similar ideas on it may think about some little bit piece that takes it off the beaten path. And that's what I'm finding, a group of folks that are talking about it, and each of us have some little twerk to it that makes our views of this issue just a little bit different, just our unique view. Let's move on to those stories. We've got a lot of stuff going on, and we started a bit late as well. Remember R. Kelly? His sex crime case gets a bit interesting as Chicago prosecutor drops charges accusing him of abusing 4 people. Now, he's still in jail and he will still be in jail for quite some time for all the things he's done so far. But at least in this case, or these cases for 4 people, charges are dropped in these 4 cases. Kelly was indicted in Cook County in 2019 and has been convicted of a raft of crimes, including child pornography, enticement, racketeering, and sex trafficking. He is appealing basically every conviction. Right now, he's getting from his appeal and his work to get out of stuff. He was getting out of these 4 charges right now. It's going to take a while to get a lot of the other charges first. So R. Kelly back in the news, but still where he belongs, waiting things out in jail. Let's move on to story number 3 on the morning. Speaking of in jail, Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg is starting a grand jury investigation of Donald Trump's role in making hush payments to a porn star during his 2016 campaign. That's a very long headline that basically tells you the story. Now, this is all based around the Michael Cohen testimony to Congress and him essentially pleading guilty to writing the checks and handing them to Stormy Daniels. There's a lot more people involved in this thing than just writing checks and handing Stormy Daniels. And of course, Donald Trump, being the person who is allegedly why we're paying hush money to, is kind of involved. So the DA in Manhattan is starting to put together some details. Grand jury started convening yesterday, being Monday, and we will see whether this thing is big enough and bad enough to take it to some sort of trial. We shall see. For your Law and Order fans, dung dung. Let's move on to the next story, which is this one here. One we teased yesterday. A mysterious Adderall shortage reveals how America fails ADHD patients. This story from The Guardian is really a big kind of deep detail story that tells the story of a few people who have ADHD and who are dealing with it in not so great ways, because over the last year, it's harder for patients like them to get the drugs they need, Adderall in particular. Prescriptions stimulants can give people without ADHD an elevated mood, but they can cause insomnia, elevated heart rate, and high blood pressure. So trying to give someone the wrong thing, or as I say, trying to give them permission to let me restart that one. Giving prescriptions like Adderall to people who don't have it can basically make them feel better, but has these side effects that do the bad things. For people with ADHD, the side effects are kind of worth it because it gives them the ability to focus, to just be present and sort of cause the whatever the tremors in their mind that keeps them from being able to function in around things, because they just hyperactive. Can't happen. Go deeper into the story. Go to the link in the description and read the full story, because I can't give it justice here at all. But it is a very serious thing for you who deal with ADHD or know people who deal with ADHD. You know that the medicines can be a bit weird, but without them, life can be a whole lot weirder for many people. Now, I told you I got 9 stories. We're going to squeeze this in. Actually, we had, oddly enough, we also had the death of the singer who's saying, I want money. That's what I want, who died at 82. But we are going to highlight, because we only have so much time, so much space. Hockey Hall of Famer Bobby Hull, the Golden Jet, who died at 84. And late last night, we got the word from Cindy Williams, half of Laverne and Shirley. She died as well at the age of 75. Click the links that we have for you in the description. Click the links we have for you in our newsletter, and you can go deeper into those stories. Let's move on to the next story, which is a bit of a surprise, which shouldn't be. You People is the #1 movie on Netflix, and it took hours for it to become the #1 movie on Netflix. Currently, or before that, All Quiet on the Western Front was there, and it was nominated for an Oscar. But once You People was released on Friday, it got a whole lot of love until people saw it and actually talked about it, and most people seem to not like it. It's a story of Ezra and Amara, an interracial couple that get complicated in their relationship when they introduce each other to their parents. Family for Amara is headed by Eddie Murphy, who are Muslim. Although we find out in the middle of the show he is converted Muslim, and the Ezra's family are Jewish, led by David Duchovny, and mostly led by Louis Dreyfus. And so it's a back and forth between Dreyfus and Murphy, trying to out racist each other in this scene. It's a horrible movie. It's a terrible movie. It's not a good movie, but there's a whole lot of stars in it, and everybody watched it, and so it's #1 movie on Netflix that everybody hates. Moving on to story this one. It is one that was a fluke that I posted in there. It is the top story posted by literally like thousands of percent over the #2 story that was posted in the last day or so. Joong-ki and Katy Louise Saunders are married, expecting a baby. And that's it. Joong-ki is a actor, Korean actor, I believe. And he married some British lady, or he was dating some British lady, and people got all freaked out about it. Now they're married and having a kid. And that's it. I don't know what he stars in. I don't know what he does. I'm it's a stretch to say he's Korean, because I'm not quite sure that. The robot editor, all he said was the brunette beauty has a kind heart and wonderful personality, and her father is grateful for all the fans who care for him without fail. That's it. The robot editor couldn't even find anything worth putting in the story. But this story, this story, the numbers on this story were astronomical. Literally, the response from this one versus the number two story was about 60% more people engaged in this story than the other one. It was more people responded to it by percentage of the total numbers by 871% over the top story. People want to see this. I don't know who these people are. The same people who maybe actually like the movie You People, but you people, someone out there cares about Song Joong-ki. Maybe he sings with one of those pop groups. I don't know who he is. I literally don't know who he is. I saw it as a fluke, put it in there in case safe some space, and to make it really really crazy, the article that we pulled it from, they didn't have pictures of the two together. They had a picture of him and then a picture of her. A picture of him, picture of her. And the picture I found, I had to search forever. There's like two pictures I could find with them in the same picture. One were various images of that one that has them, with the face covering on because they're walking in the streets. And two, one that I'm pretty sure it's Photoshop. But they love each other, I guess. They've been dating for a while. They married. They having a baby. I've spent way too much time talking about two people. I have no idea who they are. Our final story for the morning, because we snuck in two stories with the deaths of Cindy Williams and Bobby Hull, gave us a chance to get one more story that I just really kind of wanted to get into. So this is all about me. You can blame me on this one. Headline: Pastor defends Enneagram as helpful tool, not demonic. I'm going to read you what the robot editor gave me for this one to give your lines. Pastor John Stark has defended the Enneagram personality test against claims that it has demonic origins. Jackie Hill Perry recently warned her followers to stop using the personality test because it has spiritual demonic roots. That's the word. The author of The Secret Place of Thunder and The Possibility of Prayer said that the Enneagram is not a mantra that summons demon forces, and Christians should not spend their time being afraid of it. Stark said the Enneagram is nothing to worry about because no one is trying to divine the future with it. Hill's post about the Enneagram described it as, quote, doctrines of demons, divination, witchcraft, unquote. But Stark said that it is just a tool that helps people see where they are in trusting in their own strength rather than Christ. The initial criticism of the Enneagram by Hill said Oscar Isgard received his information through a demon named Metatron, good name for a demon, and Claudio Navarro created the types in the personality test through what he called, quote, automatic writing, which sounds like AI to me. Beth McCord is an Enneagram Christian, is an integral Christian Enneagram coach who has written several books and co-hosted a podcast about the test. So robot editor, not so great in the editing, but you get the deal. There are people out there who tell you that the Enneagram personality test is demonic, probably because the crosses back and forth, and many people say it really isn't. Somehow that seemed like it should have been more dramatic. I guess it didn't. I guess it's just me, literally just me. Let's get to teasing again, won't we? This is a story we may talk about tomorrow if you deem this one worthy of talking about. Trump sues Bob Woodward for releasing audio of their interviews. Read very slowly because I didn't expand it so I can have it kind of squint to see it. But Trump is going to sue Mr. Woodward, the famous, legendary reporter who wrote a bunch of books about him, recorded a bunch of stories about him, talking to him because that's how he does that, telling him, Trump telling him exactly what he thought, and then writing a book about it and releasing the tapes of him, which is proof he said those words. So he can't say I didn't say those words because he played the tapes. Trump's going to sue Woodward. Is this worth talking about? You be the judge. Follow us on our feeds on Facebook and Twitter, facebook.com/this is a conversation project and twitter.com/th_conversation. Engage in the stories. And the more you engage in those stories, the more you like them, love them, hate them, share them, the better chance that we get to talk about them tomorrow. Like we said, we're going to vet down to 15 of the 30 to 33 stories that'll be posted in the day, and I'm going to whittle them down to 8. Tomorrow, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to cheat and do just 8 stories. So to make it into the 8 in no particular order, you just engage with them as much as possible and sort of hope that I pick your story out of the top 15. Let's talk about our sponsor for the day, our main sponsor. You can see all our sponsors at thisistheconversationproject.com/sponsors. But we're going to talk about Flowers Fast today. As we are approaching Valentine's Day, you can get a jump on your love and get a jump on your actual being attentive to your love by sending them a gift of flowers. And if you forget about it, the name will help you get them to them fast. Flowers Fast is an online service that is attached to all the FTD services that you know and love and have a great deal for you. Check them out because they can get you your flowers fast. Early morning orders can get to people on the same day, the way they work their system. So check them out. Keep this in your back pocket just in case you need it fast, or you can do it ahead of time and be ready to go. This is the conversationproject.com/flowersfast. This is the conversationproject.com/flowersfast. This is the conversationproject.com/flowersfast. Don't forget them because they'll take care of your flower needs, your gift needs in a jiffy. Now, this is an affiliate link, so we do get something back from this, but it costs you nothing extra and may save your life as you get your flowers. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Fast. The Conversation Project at thisistheconversationproject.com, our home online for the Conversation Project. Check out more things like other sponsors. Check out our partnership page. So if maybe there's something that we can partner up with to do to help grow our program here. Check out some other programs we have going on and check out our TikTok. So yesterday we got a content warning from our TikTok where basically all it was me talking about news stories that didn't happen. So first one, we're a little kind of shuffled by it, but we're going to see what happens today when we do some more creative stuff and see what happens and see if we can actually back into the swing of things for the TikTok. Check out our links to everything at thisistheconversationproject.com. Fun stuff now. Let's get into today things for January 31st. Believe it or not, the first month is down. 1 of 12 is done as of this afternoon. Birthdays for today. People celebrate the end of the January birthday love. Minnie Driver getting 54 years old today. Portia de Rossi, who is 50, and Kerry Washington, who is 46. We actually had in the list, but we decided to go with all the ladies, if you will, for the grand birthday days on today. But we also are going to do a quick shout out. We'll start doing more of these things as well. Assuming buttons are pressed properly. It also happens to be birthdays for Jonathan Banks, also Justin Timberlake. It's not going to be May, but it's going to be his birthday. Hey, he's 42, by the way. Hot Chocolate Day. Let's celebrate Hot Chocolate Day, especially a day like today where it's going to be in the 20s all day. And here where we're in Little Rock, we're expecting a swath of wintry precipitation to come down in about 3 or 4 hours to basically swath over and make everything treacherous so that if people go out in the streets, because no one in the South can drive on ice and snow, we will all die. So with that, we stocked up and there's plenty of hot chocolate to go around here. Also plenty of peanut butter just in case. Hot Chocolate Day is a day on the 31st of January that should be celebrated. Ironically, or coincidentally, since we ain't going anyplace, we have plenty of time to celebrate with hot chocolate, at least here in our household. And finally, one more thing you might not have heard. Expressions like "you're only as old as you feel" may be cliches, but according to a study, they can have a positive effect on a person's mental and physical well-being. Researchers from Eastern Illinois University found that so-called memorable messages about aging can persuade people to change their lifestyle as they grow older. Now, this was it was kind of a toss-up. There wasn't very many things in my show prep to pull from for the thing you might not have heard, but this is something that may intrigue people because essentially the positive thinking stuff does work, and people do get a lot from positive thinking, from mantras, from things like that. Now, don't sort of weigh yourself down with the thought that you're going to go back and read The Secret and start manifesting things at will. But if you have a positive attitude about things, you could probably get through a lot of things a lot faster, a lot better, and have a better rosy attitude. Me, I'm pretty much paranoid and hate everybody, so this does not apply to me. But for you, it might help. And it also helps that we're done. Tuesday, January 31st, 2022. My name is Jay Cleveland Payne. Thank you so much for joining us for the ride today. Sometimes the ride's a little bumpy. Sometimes the ride's very smooth. Sometimes you're just happy to get to the end of the road. Today, I just want to thank you so much for being with us on the ride. It's been an interesting month for January, and it'll be an interesting year, we believe. So we want you to be as comfortable as possible and join us for as many of these things as you can. As we said, go to our website, thisisaconversationproject.com, and you can see how to find other ways to find us. If you just want to listen to us in a podcast, we have that. We have snippets on YouTube. We have snippets on TikTok, things like that. And of course, the not so famous, the famous, be hydrated, stay hydrated, stay limber, stay in task for all the grand things you are meant to do here on this planet. Thank you so much for being here on this planet and for engaging with me on my little silly quest today. Let's do more silly questing. Lord willing, creek don't rise and power don't go out for tomorrow.